Hi everyone.
Welcome
back to TVI, episode 187. I'm Carl Donnelly.
I'm Julian Deane. We just did half an hour that didn't get recorded, so we're going to rehash.
We did about 6 minutes.
The good news is, though, is that I'm not going to get cancelled. I said something in that.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about.
Danny
I haven't
Ward
heard that word
in.
since like the.
6 minutes of pure racial slurs.
I've only heard that word.
Luckily, wasn't recorded.
I didn't even know you could say that.
This is getting worse and worse.
But yeah, it's good. It's it's good to get it off your chest.
I only normally hear that in gangster rap.
Hey, no, listen. What I said was on the blob. I didn't. That was that.
I thought I said on the blob.
You did. And then I said that I'd said it in '97.
Oh yeah.
At which point there was a discussion about whether or not that was appropriate back then. And of course I said it wasn't.
Yeah.
You're
up to speed.
And I said on the blob is a medical term.
And then Carl and Julian were telling us about buying tampons.
Oh yeah. So yeah, basically we started recording.
I bought my niece some tampons the other day, and I had to video call her and show to see, because she was like,
what shop did you buy them in?
Sainsbury's.
Okay, yeah, good.
And I was like, which ones are they? And she was like, oh, they're called Tampax. I was thinking like, everyone knows Tampax.
Fucking idiots, am I?
I was like, yeah, which ones? So I had to video call her and show her all the different colours.
What one did she go for?
She went for the light one.
I asked that. It's disgusting.
It was the yellow tampons.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is that akin to asking someone what size condom they go for?
Yeah, Magnum, bruv. Next. Not really.
Magnum extra small.
I wear them on my hands.
Yes. I've never needed to.
Condoms?
I've just always gone for a standard size.
Gone for the face.
I've never worn one. What do they feel
I've always gone for the back.
No, how many kids have you got, Julian? I think
none.
You're missing the back and
none that I
right
speak
up the
to.
fannies. No, I've never. I didn't. Yeah, would you have to seek out a different size of
Me?
condom?
No.
I've heard D's
Oh, come on.
got a big D. You can say that.
No, you can't. Well,
Oh, you can't say that.
This is-
Why guys with big dicks are always ashamed of them?
I know. Whereas you'd be walking around with it out all the time.
It would just be cold.
You'd be screensaver on your phone.
I've not seen it, by the way.
But
we have lived together once, haven't we?
We did live together, yeah. I mean, don't know what that's got to do with your cock.
Well, it's more likely that one would see one's appendage.
Yeah. I woke up once and you were like doing your flies up.
Yeah. I think I've seen quite a few of my male friends.
Have you?
Have you seen mine? No.
No.
Oh, you didn't get the pics?
Have I seen yours?
No.
But
I keep mine undercover, mate.
Everyone keeps it undercover.
Oh, yeah. I was a prude.
No, but I think I've seen it in certain, I went on a lads' holiday when we were like 18.
Yeah.
I remember there was
Sucked everyone's cock. Welcome to
I thought this was about being vegans.
No. I get asked that all the time.
It's a meat substitute.
I get asked by comedians about like, how's the podcast going? They're like, is it so? It's the vegan podcast. It's like we haven't mentioned veganism in about 140 episodes. It's literally like I think we put off people by it.
Two pedo hunters,
and if they listen, it is literally pedos and cock jokes.
Yeah.
We need to change it.
Have you ever listened to the podcast?
Change it to pedo jokes. That's what it should be called with Carl and Julian. But no, I think lads' holiday. There was a bit of skinny dipping that went on. And I definitely saw most of my friends' dicks.
All cold in the sea. Not that you want to see them big.
I mean, it was
Half inch it doesn't mingle.
big in my mouth. No, it was a beach. It was
all
a summer,
hard next to a log
summer
fire.
beach holiday. Once in the water, it probably got a bit cold, but like running around a beach.
Oh, I'd be too scared to skinny dip in the sea. I'd get
Why?
scared
Would you
anyway.
get bit by a fish.
Get sucked off by a little goldfish.
Do you not? What are you scared of?
The things under the sea. That's the only thing that is a bit weird. Things on my feet, let alone my willy.
Right, but
Weaver fish are the ones you got to be careful.
Are they the ones that go up your willy?
Oh, no, I don't know. They're usually the ones that bite you on your foot. But
oh, right. Sorry. That's right.
Can't get excited. Do they go up your willy?
There is one though.
Isn't there that famous
Are there any that goes in and out your bum? I'm going to go and get my swim stuff. In and out
We're trying to have a serious conversation about fish that go up people's piss stream here, please.
Sorry, Steve.
That's that famous one. Is it like the Amazon or something? There's a fish that swims. If you piss it, they say don't piss in the river.
Like a salmon.
There's a tiny one that swims up your piss and goes into your willy and just clogs it.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah, but I think that might be an urban
legend.
But
weaver fish aren't really, really, really painful.
Right.
Have you had one?
I've stepped on one, yeah.
What do they do to your foot?
Hurt, make it hurt.
What, like bite? Stick?
Is it
sting?
it a bite or is it
it's one of them things, because mosquitoes don't bite, do they? They stab you. So I think it might be one of those. I don't think it's.
So we're phrasing that wrong then, aren't we? We say.
Yeah, I got bitten by a mosquito. Oh no, you didn't.
I got murked.
Oh no, you didn't. Yeah, you got shanked.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do they die mosquitoes when they do that?
No.
Just bees die.
Just bees, yeah.
Wasps don't even die, do they?
No, wasps are angry.
But
bees, that's why
bees are like little suicide bombers, aren't they?
But they don't want to sting you though. They only sting you if you anger them.
Yeah. I trod on a wasp once. Ow, barefoot.
Oh.
And I was.
I got stung by one once.
Yeah,
50 pence.
Have you been stung? I've not been stung in adulthood by a wasp.
I got
stung when I was a very small child, which gave me a fear of wasps and bees.
Yeah.
That I've only got over.
Where were you stung on your finger?
I think it was on my arm, but I remember it so clearly. I was in the west of Ireland and I was sat on a yellow Mini, the bonnet of a yellow Mini.
That looks like a giant bee.
I think the bee thought I was
sitting on
his mum. But then I got stung. I just
Stop fucking my mum.
Really a beast bee.
But it was so painful, and it gave me a proper lifelong fear of wasps and bees that I've only got over in the last decade, and now I really like bees.
Well, that's
wasps I'm not mad about.
I had a theory that people who are scared of wasps in adulthood have never actually been stung by one.
Yes.
Because it's that fear of the unknown. Because if you actually have been stung by one,
it's like having some people have a chronic fear of breaking bones. And I used to have that. I used to have like recurring intrusive thoughts about breaking bones. And then I broke my arm and it was fine.
Yeah,
so and now it doesn't cross my mind.
I saved
anymore.
my dog from a wasp and it stung me.
Oh.
And Rags didn't know. Like weren't really grateful, but it was right near his face. And I went. I was in the services on going to Cornwall.
Oh, I thought it was, right. Okay, that kind of services.
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd been in the army, Julian.
I was on the front line. Yeah. In Iraq.
So have you been stung in adulthood?
50 quid.
I stepped on one in.
What with that jacket?
It's a nice piece of kit. This.
It's a fucking great jacket.
Nice.
That's pretty green, Chief.
You looked hurt when I said jacket. It was the first only thing I could say.
Did you buy that in TK Maxx? No, I'm going to ask this because you know
he loves TK.
No, but because you know Pretty Green, the shop's shut.
Yeah,
they closed their stores, and now you can get it online. But you also find bits of it in TK Maxx.
No, I got
same with there's a couple of brands like. There's Religion is now only
True Religion,
not True Religion, just Religion.
Oh.
It used to be on Brick Lane. Then they basically shut their shop, and now it's just in TK Maxx.
I once bought I went off to a university. And sort of.
What'd you study?
English and drama.
Oh, cool.
But then, when you go to university, you come back in the summer. In the Christmas holidays. It's for the A-level presentation night. So
in the Christmas holidays,
you didn't have an A-level.
You didn't have this, no, at your school, no. So everyone went off, and so they come back 3 months later after metamorphosizing into butterflies and leaving town and coming back.
Working in prep.
And you come back, and TK Maxx had just opened, and I remember turning up to this A-level presentation night in a silver in a silver anorak that I bought from TK Maxx. It was a NASA. The brand was NASA, and that's
not a brand.
No, it's different, nice and safe attitude.
Oh yeah.
They must have thought, oh God, look at. And I walked in.
Who wants a nice and safe attitude?
Silver anorak. He's only been in university 3 months.
3 months.
Found himself.
Yeah.
And a jacket from TK Maxx.
What university was it?
Manchester.
Oh. It's nice. Good to see.
And you passed. You got 2 degrees, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I've actually got 3.
Have you? What's the third one?
Third one's in television film producing.
You got a degree in that, yeah.
Got an MA in that. That one's an MA.
What's an MA?
A master's.
Oh, so okay. So that's a degree and then 2 years.
The master's was 1 year.
So hang on. So
that's easy.
You did a 3-year.
That's like a BTEC, mate.
It was a bit of a.
Talk us through your CV.
I'll talk you through it. So 7 A's, 3 B's, GCSE.
You're a smart boy.
2 B's and an A level.
What were your A levels?
English, history, and performing arts.
Okay, yeah.
And then I did English and drama at Manchester, but it was a 4-year gimmick where you got 2 degrees over 4 years. Yeah, and it was
never heard of this.
So 2 for 1 offer.
2 for 1. So you got 4 years at uni. I remember.
So what were the 2 separate degrees then?
English, 1 in English.
One in English,
one in drama.
Okay, yeah.
And then I went to study.
Did you want to go on and get something?
Do you know who's in the year above me at drama in Manchester?
Sarah Millican.
Should we guess?
Yeah.
Is it a comedian?
No.
Is it an actor?
Yeah.
Actor went to Manchester.
Benedict.
A year old.
Cumberpatch.
Got it.
How did I know that?
Cumberpatch.
How did I know
How
that?
did you know that? That's mental.
You know, Luke Tolson. No, Luke is a good friend of his, isn't he? I don't know why he popped in my head.
Luke who? Tolson.
Yeah.
He's a friend of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, good friend. He drove past us once when I was with him and he waved out a car, yeah.
He's good friends with Judge Rinder as well.
Really?
Is he?
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is. And in
Oh.
fact, I'd go so far as to say that I think Judge Rinder officiated his wedding.
No.
Judge Rinder's an actual judge. I know a barrister that works with him.
I presume. I don't think you can just go around calling yourself a judge
Oh,
without
yeah.
getting the
Did you know Judge
credit.
Rinder's a judge?
What's your thoughts on Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor? And
Gets on my nerves, if I'm honest.
I'm gonna say I think he's very good in certain things, but I think I often struggle to see why he gets certain roles. Like
He's got a good look.
I thought he was great as Sherlock.
Yeah.
But then I've seen him in some American films where I feel like they could have been a much better actor suited to this role. And actually,
I don't know. Yeah.
he's been. I think he's
He's
often
got an
cast.
interesting look, isn't he?
I think he's often cast because how he looks and his sort of status. Whereas actually, it doesn't suit him as a role, and I think he often isn't.
Feels like he's got a lot of self-belief.
I mean, his family were literally aristocracy.
That's what I mean. He's got that innate.
Isn't it his family that,
Deservability.
apparently are due to pay reparations for slavery in Grenada or something? Like he comes from proper English money. You know what I mean?
It
You don't
is
have a
who
name
you know,
like
isn't it?
Benedict Cumberbatch and come from a council
yeah.
estate, do you?
I remember seeing a little clip of him doing that. He did a cartoon or something where he's a dragon,
Right.
and he's got all the CGI stuff on him, and he's doing it in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
And it just made me think, shut up. It just got on my nerves a bit. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
He's going. You know what I mean? Anyone can do that. It's just that he has got no inhibition.
I met Jude Law once.
He used to go to my school.
Wow.
He did.
Did he?
Thomas Tallis, yeah.
Really?
So I heard. I didn't. Or Kidbrooke, one of the. I went both schools.
So I've heard he's really nice.
Do you know what? I was sometimes
He's
you
from
have
Blackheath, isn't he?
sometimes you just have these totally
He was a salt, wasn't he?
like
Yes.
I
Really
I was
hot.
I was expecting for some reason it's not particularly fair. I thought he might be a bit I don't know slimy or
I
he
definitely
was
would have thought
as
about
good
it.
as gold.
I've heard, so I exact same. I've always thought,
Misconception.
because he was a bit of that sort of wide
That's
boy
what-
actor, like Groucho Club. You can imagine him just getting coked up with Kate Moss and all that. And then so I think you build an idea of somebody. But I know people that know him, and apparently he's just absolutely.
He was
lovely.
really, really nice. And I was a runner working on the movie The Holiday. And, it just took the time to have a chat. We chatted about magic mushrooms on Croydon Market.
Is
I
it?
think he's from Croydon, or at least nearby, perhaps.
Should we have a Google?
And
Because you're just saying I'm
do you know how I-
lying.
do you know how I sort of,
You're calling me a liar there.
do you know how I judge famous people? It's quite good, this, actually.
If they sign your autograph book or not.
It's, I said, look, I need to buy some tampons, mate. Would you? And if my thing is this: is I go, hello, I'm Danny.
Yes.
Right. And if they go, oh, hello, I'm Jude.
Yeah.
That's a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas some
Can you
people,
get out my garden?
if they go, hello, I'm Danny, and they go, hello,
Yeah.
without telling you about their name,
Then you're like, fuck
yeah.
you.
So that's the sign.
That's what you
Because
say.
obviously I know
Go
that he's
fuck yourself.
called Jude.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's like when I first met Jimmy Nesbitt as well. Hello, Jimmy.
Is Jimmy Nesbitt an actor?
Yeah.
Yeah,
actor, yes.
I worked on Murphy's Law. My first sort of job.
I remember that.
And I went, hello, I'm Danny. He went, hello, I'm Jimmy. It's like, there you go. I won't name the people who didn't.
Yeah.
I met Hasselhoff once and had a chat.
Really?
David
What did
Hasselhoff.
he
Where
have
did you meet him?
It was on Hine Street, which is just behind Selfridges. And me and him were going to the same meeting.
Oh, right. I was about to
And
ask,
the
was it a
meeting,
meeting?
yeah, and the meeting was closed, but it was just me and him. It was a bank holiday, so
Yeah.
we're both at the door. I didn't know it was him straight away.
Right.
And then
He wasn't driving kit.
nah,
Didn't have
and
one
then
of
we had a
them,
chat.
orange
We had a
things.
chat about other meetings in the area. We got a book out and had a look through the book at other ones, and then
Is there a book?
yeah,
Is
a
there?
meeting finder book.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know this.
and then he got in a black cab and said, "See you later." It was quite funny. It looked a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a bit of a. He's prone to the
Tall,
the
very
dark-
slim. He looked slim. He's a nice guy.
One thing I would say about Jude Law.
Oh, yeah.
which the opposite of Benedict Cumberbatch. I think Jude Law's actually much better than people think as an actor.
Yeah.
I think he's really good. Also, I think
he had his willy out, didn't he? And Dorian Gray.
Yeah, he gets his willy out. He don't mind a bit of that. But
full frontal.
You see his willy, yeah.
I also think he's lent into middle age really well. Like I've seen him in a couple of things where he's a proper just dowdy middle-aged bloke because he was Jude Law.
It gets on my nerves a little bit though. You know these super good-looking guys, Brad Pitt, Jude Law, Julian Deane. No, but like when they try and like grow a beard and look all rough.
No, but I don't think Jude Law isn't that. He's not the Jude Law of old. Like he has actually got a receding hairline. He looks his age, and I think he's absolutely accepting of it. He's not trying to hold on to his youth. He's just been comfortable
with his look.
He's not desperate to hold on to his youth.
Yeah.
Julian Deane.
Cards on the table. I put some Just for Men through the beard the other day. And
he loves a bit. Don't you do a bit of that?
I've never done it.
It's not hair dye. You're turning off the greys. There is a difference.
Yeah. There's a difference, all right.
Okay.
And I did it, and I don't know if you know what happens when you first apply it. It gets very jet black and almost like you've got a Sharpie pen and coloured yourself in.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I did it, and I'm staying at.
What you mean? That's not real?
No. I just do you know what? That is real, yeah. But you see these bits. But what happened was there was no hot water, but I didn't know. Like it was ice.
Yeah.
So I'm about to have a shower, but I got the dye on.
Yeah.
And
we don't call it dye, June.
No. I've got the grey off switch on.
Yeah, that's it.
And it was so cold, it was giving me like brain freeze.
Yeah.
Like so I couldn't do it.
I mean, the water at the minute is very cold. I say that as somebody who has a cold shower every day. It's still holding on to that winter temperature.
I like a burn.
But it's one of the perks of winter, isn't it? Is that the cold tap is almost like it's refrigerated.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're looking for plus points of this.
Yeah. You can make ice cream.
So just out of interest, how you have a cold shower every day?
I don't. I have a cold shower, but I don't.
Get rid of that boner.
I have a normal quick shower.
Stop you thinking about. No, really. I was going to say kids.
But no, I have a normal shower,
Welcome
normal
to
temperature,
TVI Day.
wash, because I think you need to wash with hot water, it's better.
Yeah.
And then I just turn it cold and do 2 minutes.
Yeah, my dad's done that every day of his life.
I've done it for...
What, freezing shower?
Every day.
I've done it for now. I think I've done it for over 3 years, every day.
Yeah.
And I swear by it. I'm super healthy, never get ill. You know, I feel like it's such a good start to the day. And at the minute,
it's
the
very
water,
good
like... When you get into like mid-December, you can feel the pipes suddenly just drop in temperature, and it's normally now it's coming out of it, but it's still super cold. Which
do you know what? I'm going to give that a go next time I shower.
It does make you feel good afterwards.
And the trick is like you just start with 10 seconds. Don't try and force yourself to 2 minutes straight away, because that will scare you off.
Yeah.
Do 10 seconds and then just build up over the next month until you get to a point where you could do it as long as you want. And now some days, like, today I was in a rush, so I reckon I did a minute, and just like, and it was fucking cold today. Like, you can feel when it's super cold, because if you just like, I move around, so I'll have like 15 seconds on my 15 seconds, or 15. So often I do back of the neck's really good. Back of the neck, that sets off your. What is it? Your vagus nerve or something? That is like That's the thing, and that's the one that helps with blood pressure.
What happens in Vegas?
And then I turn and do my sort of left side, and I do my right side. I do top of the head, but like my chest when I did it today.
Do you ever turn the shower thing around so it's coming out really hard and can put it on your arsehole?
Oh, I knew that was coming.
But you can feel your body
though.
does this thing. It's like when you do it. Have you ever done an ice bath?
No, but
I do a plunge pool at my gym. They've got a new plunge pool.
Yeah.
It's only 12 degrees Celsius.
Right.
But when you come out of a sauna, it's cold.
It's wicked. Yeah.
I played chess in the sauna yesterday.
Will you stop?
I did. I've got it on my story on my Insta.
Oh,
I lost.
Missed that.
I lost the game. Yeah.
Was it a planned game, or were you just walking in on it?
No,
walked in with his chessboard under his.
It was a planned
Alarm
game.
bells would start ringing.
Who are you playing?
My mate Singh, who goes in there. He's my sauna mate.
So it's somebody you've met in the sauna?
Yeah, I've known him for... Well, I see him in the sauna for like...
What were you thinking?
A couple of years.
Did you just like after 2 years?
It was his idea. It was his idea, yeah. And it was packed out full of people. I'm talking a big game as well. Like I'm trash talking, and I lost. But he's good.
Right.
I can play.
Yeah.
He's really good.
I can't picture it.
Well, you can't picture Julian being good at chess.
Well, that.
I can't either.
I was telling everyone I'm a grandmaster. And then I thought, I'll just put so much pressure on myself, and I forgot I hadn't played for years.
I just can't.
But
get my head around it.
It was so hot. Like we couldn't. Like it was so hot in there.
People think 8-9 moves ahead.
Yeah.
No, we weren't doing that.
I just.
He probably was. He checkmated me.
Yeah, so he probably was exactly doing that.
Yeah.
I was saying to Julian earlier when we were talking about it that I feel like chess to me is like the thought of learning a foreign language. I feel like I missed the boat.
Oh, you got to do.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you play chess?
No. My dad did, and my dad does, and I just can't get it.
No.
And I'm always surprised
What
by
do
the
you
people that go,
mean?
"Oh, I played chess the other day."
What's there to get?
The rules and all the
rules.
things.
What you
and all
got to
the
do is you got to know what they do. You could learn as you go along.
I know that. I know sort of, that one moves that way, that one
I
moves
made
that way.
friends when I was 11 with the school boffin, and for about 2 weeks actually. And I went to chess club with him a couple of times.
That
just
was
before
it.
I got
was talking to
expelled.
Mark Simmons went to chess club. That's right. It was.
I only went twice, but I got the rules of it, and I've played every now and then since.
What were your two main motivations for going to chess club?
Him saying, "Do you want to come?" And then I went to his house for a Saturday, and we went to the Labour. This is his favourite subject was politics. Mine was just being naughty, and we went to the Labour, and helped put the stuff in the envelopes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this was weird, surreal to me.
How old are you?
Was I 11? I was a first year in secondary school.
That is young to be canvassing for the Labour Party.
Yeah,
I was mates with him for about 3 weeks.
and that's when you learned when you became a chess master.
I mean, it
Intensive.
left an imprint.
I
in your
guess
mind.
that's where I learnt the rules of chess.
I think if you learn them young enough, that they're in it.
It's not hard. It's not,
but it's not hard. But I think it just to get even decent at it.
You can get really into it.
Like my mate plays
strategy.
online.
It's a great game.
My mate plays that online to a high level. Top whatever.
I sometimes watch it like Magnus
in the world.
Carlsen. He's the best ever.
Right.
He's the world champion now. But it's fascinating. It's such a good game,
isn't it? Because there's a couple of like the big ones over the years that were like grandmasters at the age of 9,
Bobby
and 10
Fischer.
and
there
11.
was a film about.
But they were like grandmasters by the time they were in their
I don't know what
teens.
defines a grandmaster, but
I think it's just once you've done all the competitions, your ranking gets to a certain point, and you're classed as a grandmaster.
What other sports did you play?
it's not a sport, is it? Is it a sport?
No,
Chess?
I don't know. Well,
Just chess and violence.
but I think I would say it's a. It must be a sport.
It is a sport.
Because what's the cut off for sport?
Yeah.
It's like darts is technically a sport, but
Yeah.
If I had to be good at any
snooker.
one sport, I think it would be darts, because that just
So you
doesn't look like it requires an awful lot of sort of.
could just be in the pub.
not to stereotype, but I was
Sportsmanship.
they're all
in
fat.
Cardiff last weekend,
Yeah.
playing the Glee Club, and the hotel that the Glee Club put you up in is over the road from the Motor Point Arena.
Oh yeah.
And the night I got there, Thursday, they had the Darts World League, like a big meeting of darts, the best players in the world. And it was like, so it's the arena, thousands
So
and
it's
thousands
not a
of
competition.
people.
It's just a meeting.
Well, no, but like they call them like sort of meetings, but it's a competition.
Oh.
And you don't want to stereotype darts players, fans, whatever.
But they're all fat bastards.
But they were basically, there was quite a few of the players, people involved, and fans were staying in the hotel I was staying in.
Well, it's hard to tell the fans apart from
The
players, isn't it?
Which is
Apart from the
rare
Weight
for a
Watchers rare for a
sport.
sport.
group
You know,
next door.
But I went down for breakfast on the Friday morning.
Was there any left?
There was a buffet.
Well, obviously,
Slim
luckily, being
pickings.
vegan, a hotel breakfast for me is normally a dry bit of toast and some baked beans on top. But there was some big boys in there. There was one guy, and he went up for 3 rounds, and each time got what I would see as a full English breakfast. He had 3 full
There you go.
Englishes.
I'm hungry
Round the
right
block
now.
3 times.
That is so much bacon, and every time he had like 5 bits of bacon on. He probably did 15 bits.
They
of
really
bacon over
enjoy their
breakfast.
food, though, don't they? Like bigger people. Like it's I'm quite
Have you ever,
envious.
like, Toby Carver is I know it's a bit of a cliche, but have you ever seen the mountains of food that people put?
I've never been to a Toby Carvery.
I mean, there probably isn't an awful lot for the vegan.
No.
Yeah, when you go to the buffet though, like I don't know, there's kids fucking just put their hands in it.
Oh,
and
it's yeah.
Bit of an
I used
ordeal.
to say it was like a soup kitchen for people who aren't actually homeless.
yeah.
But I was there recently.
I went to a soup kitchen once in Australia when I was starving hungry. Anyway, sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
My dad said, like, we had no money, and he was like, we're going to go. He didn't tell me where we're going. We went down
a nice day out.
in Sydney, like down there past Chinatown, and we went there and we walked in, and I was like, there was just loads of homeless guys with like beards, and I was so hungry, and I was like, oh, I'm not going in there. And we went in there, and I like just sat. It was nice, man. I ate it. I had seconds. I was so hungry. I'm just.
It's hard to tell when he's lying or not, isn't it? Do you find that?
No,
I mean, that would be a rubbish lie.
No.
That'd be a boring
Yeah,
lie.
not lie. Just not even lying as such.
We just had no money for like a few days,
Right.
so we went there because it was free.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What were you saying? What were you saying before that?
I was saying
so
that
Toby
That's what I was doing when you were doing your degrees.
I just what were you waiting for like money to come through? A check
Yeah, you're
or-
waiting for money to come through. Yeah.
Right. Who paid for the tickets to Australia? Because it's quite expensive to go.
My dad was living there.
Ah.
I got an Aussie passport, and yeah,
You've got an Aussie passport?
yeah.
I did not know that. Anyway, I feel like the ship's passed on this point.
The
now.
Royal Theatrical Fund actually paid for me to go there. Because my dad was a member, and he got them to pay my ticket to go there because I was in trouble in London,
That's nice.
like
man.
getting in a lot of trouble.
Where
So I went there. I thought I would.
traditionally where the
But my,
Yeah,
I
it
just,
is, yeah. You
I
just,
just got
Julian did it very late.
I
in
just
the
got
day.
I just got expelled from college and for setting a fire extinguisher off, and they
Spelled seems a bit.
but my mum said you're going there for, like just to get out of England just for a few weeks.
Wait for the heat to die down.
And I
Yeah.
got there and they said, oh no, you're going to live here now. So it was kind of a trick to get me there.
Tricked you to Australia.
Yeah. So I was stuck
Not a
there.
bad place.
I
to
wish
get
someone tricked
to
me.
go. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was there on my
Oh
own.
man, I can't believe I've been done like this.
All this
So
sunshine.
I thought I was going there for 3 weeks, and then they're like, nah.
How long were you there in total?
8 months.
Fucking
But I
hell.
worked and paid my ticket back, but it took like about 6 months to pay
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, could have done it quicker.
Did no part of
To
you wanna
eat in the
stay
food
there?
kitchen.
I was on my own, man. 16, living in a room with my dad.
Yeah, that's
on
true, actually.
like, not one part of me wanted to stay there.
Right.
I was a desperate state to get home. I looked at like there was a guy that worked on the ships in the hotel, and I was speaking to him about. I was looking to stow away on a ship.
Yeah.
I've heard about that you can post yourself.
What?
Someone posted themselves.
Well, I'm not Flat Stanley.
I don't think I'm making this up. Pretty sure he realised how much a plane ticket was going to be, and that he posted himself.
What, DHL?
Like DHL'd himself.
Just order
somewhere.
yourself off of Amazon
A
Prime.
couple of holes into the box, and not you.
Or you could just get a job in McDonald's. I worked in McDonald's for 3 weeks, and then I got a job outside a clothes shop on the microphone.
Yeah.
What was your patter?
It's all got to be sold. It's a liquidation sale, ladies and gentlemen. T-shirts, $2, all that. They liked the London accent. I
Right.
was terrified to do it, but I had to. $15 an hour, and every day on wages, when I'd get wages paid, I'd go over to Thomas Cook and put a little bit more on the ticket.
Oh right, okay.
The woman in Thomas
cool.
Cook knew what I was doing. I told her the sitch, and I just used to pay it off every week.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're such a dark horse, Jill.
Mm.
Quite literally, now you've done the beard.
Anyway, Toby Carberry.
No, yeah. Also, I've sworn. Don't know if it's.
Yeah, you're absolutely allowed to.
Yeah,
swear.
I'm thinking of all the grot that's come out of Julian's
I
mouth.
know.
I mean, so basically, what someone had a Toby Carvery plate, and they also had a pint, and it was as high as the pint of food.
Oh my God.
That's a,
Surely, but I thought the whole point is you can go back. So why
Yeah,
not
I
just have a
suppose
smaller plate and then
that's-
repeat?
that is a fair
Eyes are
point,
bigger than their
actually.
belly, I bet. I bet they didn't finish it, did they?
I actually did. And I actually took a photo.
Before and after.
Fat shaming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't, shame. I didn't.
You just
kept it for
framed it
myself
and put it in
just
your
to look at.
living room.
We've got questions from listeners we're going to go to in a sec, but before we do, we were going to ask you about, because obviously you did a show about your experience on Britain's Got Talent. Right?
Yes.
Oh,
but
yeah.
but we've never heard the story here.
Do you know I did it last year?
No, I did not.
I did it, yeah. I won, didn't you? No, right.
Hang on.
I,
I'm getting. You were talking about it.
yeah.
backstage
I did
somewhere.
the Palladium. It was a
Yeah,
great.
that's
It was a
right.
great. I really
So
enjoyed
Julian
it.
had a good experience.
You
Your
got-
experience
you got
wasn't
4
as.
yeses, did you?
I did, but they didn't. I got 3 yeses.
3
Simon
yeses.
Simon didn't. But I got a standing O. It was nice.
You got a standing O.
Yeah, but I didn't. They didn't put it on telly.
You got, really?
Yeah. Well, Amanda, Alicia, and Walliam stood up.
Yeah.
and said, "Go home." I loved it though. I just did 3 minutes. I fucking machine gunned it out. Had a chat with Ant and Dec.
Well, you didn't have a good experience.
So what happened?
Well.
Yeah,
because I've not seen the show.
Hear a bit of the story.
Well, but basically, have you ever heard of the saying? It's called a folie à deux. It's when two people convince themselves of something. So that's why, like, let's say Fred West and his
Rose
West.
Aren't it? King and Queen.
Folie à deux. They convince themselves of something that isn't, necessarily correct or real.
I was convinced with them. By the way, it's us three.
I was a folie of I like to say, is that I deluded myself, even though that I've got an MA in TV and film producing. I know how TV works.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a hope in hell. When I went and did the audition at the Hen and Chickens in London, and it went really, really well, I thought, I'm going to win Britain's Got Talent.
Right. Yeah.
And within...
That's always a bad...
Even Fred and Rose wouldn't have believed that.
Yeah.
And of course, there was no chance in hell.
I don't know.
What year was it you did it?
It was 2019.
So it's easy with hindsight, isn't it?
2019. And did they do the same with you, where every single word of what you're going to say had to be okay?
They took a few jokes out just before I was going on stage.
So, oh, really? No, because in the run-up to it, I had to write down what I was going to say. And they came back. And
I had to rehearse it and send the video.
I sent them a video as well of it.
Yeah. And just for the legal side of it.
That was right. And I did a joke about the Weatherspoons, and they came back and said, "Oh, you can say Weatherspoons once, but you can't say it twice."
Right.
So it was really sort of a granular detail. So I got there at 11 a.m. They wanted me to get there for midday. I wanted to make a good impression, so I got there at 11. Signed the release form. And then I'm just waiting.
12 hours I was.
Well, basically.
I got there at 10 a.m. and I went on stage at about 10 p.m.
I went on stage at 11 minutes past 11.
With loads of dance troops around me rehearsing when I'm trying to get asleep.
I was the second to last act on. And basically...
What venue?
It was London Palladium.
Oh, great venue, isn't it?
Well...
Not for you.
Don't fucking rub it in, Jules.
Sorry.
And so the acts had been... The judges had been there all day. It was the second show. At 11 past 11, I sort of walked out onto the stage and to silence.
Oh.
No clapping, no applause. Simon Cowell was looking over to like the side, paying no attention. David Williams was sat there like this.
Oh, right? God.
And I thought, well, this doesn't feel like it does on the telly.
Yeah.
And I walk out and...
That's a bit unprofessional of them.
Yeah, well, the thing
just
is,
before I was going on stage, they were just bringing me on. So I'm in the wings, like the crowd's going mad, and they were like, "Oh, Simon's just gone for a cigarette."
Yeah.
So, oh.
Yeah, well, that's not the only thing he takes breaks for. I've
heard.
Yeah. And
cocaine head.
Well, that's surely that's got to be cut out.
No way,
doesn't it? It's just
okay. It was a joke.
It was a joke, Simon, and legal team. Fucking hell.
Anyway, so Alicia does the chat with me, right? She goes, "What's your name?" I say, "Danny Ward." She said,
I'll give her a little wink.
"Where are you from?" I said, "Plymouth." I said, "How old are you?" At the time, so I said 39. Said, "What do you do?" I said, "Stand-up comedy." And she said, "Oh, how long have you been doing it?" And I said, 11 years.
They told me to say I had a day job, the guy, just before I went on stage.
Yeah.
Carry on, sorry.
She said, "How long have you been doing it?" I said, 11 years. And it was at that point that Amanda Holden looked up. She went, 11 years? Then why haven't you made it yet?
Oh.
And that sort of, I wasn't really expecting that sort of gladiatorial tone.
Yes.
So I
cried.
What I wish I'd said is, well, I've not
Shut up, bitch.
I've not sucked off Les Dennis. That's what I should have said.
Yeah.
But I didn't think of that until I was on the tube on the way home. Well, I actually went on this horrible...
That'd have been so funny if you would have said that.
It'd have been amazing. It would have been amazing. And I wish at that point I'd gone, "Oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Forget this. What do you mean I'm out? I'm out.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And that's the thing. And I went, I've not made it because I've not done Britain's Got Talent yet. And people didn't used to think it was a suitable platform for comedians. But now we've seen the success of Delicio Sapondo and Robert White and Lost Voice Guy. Now it's a place where everyone wants to be.
Yeah.
And like one person in the audience went, "Woo!" One person. And they went, "All right,
your
Daddy."
mum there then, yeah.
"All right, Daddy, off you go." And then I did my first joke, right? And
Do you want to do the joke?
Well, it was the T-shirt with the shirt sewn
I
in.
remember
It used to be
that
the
one,
show
yeah.
shirt thing. I said, I've got this new shirt for the occasion, and I saw it on the rack, and I thought, well, that's nice. They've thrown in the T-shirt.
Were you nervous at that point? Clammy, mouth dry?
I mean, I
Palms are
didn't
sweating,
feel good.
knees.
I didn't feel like relaxed.
Yeah.
And I said, and when I got it home, I found out they hadn't thrown in a T-shirt. And I dramatically pull open the shirt to show that they've sewn in the T-shirt. And it was exactly like that.
Oh man!
Silence, right? And then it was, and then I went, I had my dinner.
By this time, were you getting clammy, like out of body? 2,000 people.
I mean, the next point, I was just had my the joke was I just had my dinner at the Wetherspoons. Has anyone here got the Wetherspoons app? It is awesome. You can order food or drink to your table without going near the bar. Pick yourself a pub. Hen and Chickens, Bristol. Pick yourself a table, 43. Send them over a portion apiece.
Yeah.
For 60 pence, you will feel like Bono.
No,
And it was exactly. And then I'm just about to do my next bit. Simon Cowell buzzes.
Yes.
And that buzz, what they don't tell you is it shakes
Goes
the
through your
foundations
veins.
of the fucking
Really?
theatre.
I didn't hear it.
And it was that point. So that split second of the that's when I went from, oh, I'm going to win Britain's Got Talent, to I'm not going to get through my audition.
Yeah. I'm gonna get basically booed off.
And within the next minute, all 4 judges have buzzed me off.
Oh god.
And
So what did you do, about a minute or two?
no, under a minute.
Oh.
Under a minute. And then I just stood there while each one of them sort of systematically just slagged me off.
Ugh.
And then I just walked
Which
off.
was, what, 15 minutes?
What
in the
At
morning.
least you did your time.
What sort of stuff did they say?
You padded it out a bit.
Well, I mean,
Did 20.
Simon Cowell said he thought the nerves had got the better of me.
At least that's relatively objectively
But the thing
not
is,
horrible.
but here's the thing: is that no one had laughed. So what could I say?
Yeah,
and also
yeah.
at this point,
Yeah,
right?
it's true,
At this
actually.
point,
yeah, you can't be like, no, well, no, you enjoyed
what are you
it.
talking about?
You
no,
should
you're
have just
right.
laughed hysterically after each joke.
At this point, I was now conscious of the fact that what I do now in the next minute or two is going to be quite important with regard to what they do with the
To
footage.
your own
Yeah.
pride.
So if I go fucking mental now and turn on them, I've given them a beautiful snippet for them to put on telly. If I just stand there,
If you got your
and
cock out, they'd have
eat
to
my
cut it.
medicine,
Cock
of
out,
course, at any
shout,
point,
Yeah.
something
at any
Nazi
point you could hijack
slogans.
it like that, but then they can just bleep it, bleep, 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 bleep.
Yeah, yeah.
and
Cover
show
up
you
your
standing-
blurred out.
Just blurred out your
Hang
cock.
on. Oh, you can. I see what you're saying. I thought, right, yeah. If you expose
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that.
But no,
that
but they would have
stop you
just
not being
blurred it
going
out, and then
Yeah.
it would have looked like even
Yeah,
worse.
I'd be so full nude, naked.
Yeah,
Just a
yeah.
Hadn't
mad
even
naked
occurred
man.
to me. Hadn't even occurred to me to actually, get the cock and balls out.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Why
was
would
thinking,
it occur to you,
shut up.
actually?
But so I just thought, just take your medicine and just nod graciously. And I said, oh, you win some, you lose some. Thank you, and walked off. I thought,
Did you cry
That won't go on
afterwards?
telly.
Yeah.
And then the next day, because you're probably thinking, how badly did it really go?
Yeah.
The next day, I got a text message, right? Said, hi, Danny, it's Marcy here, the counsellor working on Britain's Got Talent.
No, but she does that to everyone. She messaged me. We had a chat before and afterwards.
I mean, she said
I did great.
She said, message me if you want any help or
Right.
support, and we'll arrange a time to chat. Ciao, ciao. And she signed the text message off, ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
And I thought, what kind of fucking
Wow.
pervert signs
I mean,
off a
weirdly,
text off an emotional support?
I do
ciao,
like
ciao.
the fact they have a counsellor, but the fact they need it suggests there
Well,
is an
they
issue
had
with
to.
the
Do
show.
you know why it was? It was after someone committed
Well, people-
suicide after
People
the,
were having breakdowns.
that show, the ITV, Jeremy Kyle. It was after Jeremy
yeah,
Kyle
yeah,
incident,
yeah.
right? So, I mean, but what it is their get out of jail free card. So what it means is they can be absolute shitbags to you. And
Like
then they
see
can
the
say,
counsellor.
They say, it's all right, we've got a counsellor so we can say what we like.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man.
So I just sort of nodded, walked off, and I remember saying to Ant Deck, well, that didn't go fucking well.
So did they do? And their interview afterwards, how were they?
Interview afterwards? Oh, there's no interview afterwards.
What with them?
No, they couldn't make eye contact with me.
What, Ant and Deck?
Yeah.
I'd have thought they'd want that as good telly, though. It's better telly than...
Did it make the?
Well, no, this is the other
Telly.
thing, right? Is that the next I emailed them and said, look, didn't go well. I'd be grateful if you didn't show this on television.
Yeah.
Because of the detrimental effect on my career.
Yeah.
And they didn't respond for about 4 or 5 weeks. And then I got the email. I remember I got marked to read it because I couldn't look at it. Mark read it out. And they went, we've received your email. You did sign release form.
That must have shook you up.
We can use the footage if we wish.
Yeah.
And I felt like he'd made about, I've got an MA in TV and film producing. I know what a fucking release form does. I know you can show it. I'm asking you not to.
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't.
Out of the goodness of your heart.
I just left it. But they didn't tell me if I was going to be on or not. So every week I had to watch just to make sure I wasn't on it.
God.
And then I wasn't. So anyone who says to me, should I do Britain's Got Talent? I just say, don't fucking touch it, because we know it's not a talent show. I knew that, but I deluded myself, right?
Yeah.
I just sort of convinced myself that this was going to be it after 10 years of trying. But I mean, it really wasn't, and it could have been a lot worse.
Yes.
I mean,
How could it have been worse?
well, if they'd shown me being really
if
shit on
exactly.
If you had lost your
well, no, just
mind.
No, but, like they could just show me being really, really shit on the telly.
Yeah, and getting dug out by famous
and
Steve that happened to, didn't it?
There's a few
Steve.
people. Well, I mean, I'm not going to name anyone.
Yeah,
I best not. And
But they set him up, man.
Oh, really?
They did like tumble. They went to like these two old women in the audience. Oh, this is cringe. Like, why were they even mic'd up?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Some old biddies in the audience.
Yeah.
They look like
Why were they?
Honestly, that's the kind of shit they do, right?
Like, I think they made it look even worse than it was.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. So, my sort of advice to people always is just don't touch it.
Joe Bohr had a stinker, didn't he?
Well, Joe Bohr went on as a character act, which is Jasper
the climate
Conran,
guy.
yeah.
Funny, yeah.
And I forgot his name.
Jasper Conran?
No,
it's
just
not, that's
Conran's the
Conran.
the designer.
Person.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Jasper.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It was he's like a
Anyway,
sort of posh climber.
It's a posh climber, and he goes on, right? And they say, "Oh, where are you from?" And he goes, "Money," because it's a really funny joke, right?
That's a funny joke.
But they don't. They don't know he's an act.
Yeah.
It's like Alf Garnett. They think
They
it's
just
real.
took it at
so they all
face
started
value.
booing.
Oh, quality.
They all started booing him. Yeah, Joe's story is brilliant because like they completely misread what was going on in front of them.
Yeah.
That's funny.
See, I just before I was going on stage, I did all the interviews all day and stuff, which I was so tired at the end. But just before I'm going on stage, I don't know if he was like the show manager or something. Someone come up to me, and he didn't say it, but he's basically, it's better if you say you've got a day job.
Right.
And I was like, and I kind of got what I was saying. Oh, I get what you're saying. And then I went, as I'm walking towards the mic, I didn't know what job I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So I'm walking towards the mic. There's like 2,000 people there. And Williams is like, so what do you do? Do you do this full time? I went, not full time. I was just thinking on the spot.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, what do you do then? I was like, I drive. But it was all like one word answers. And he went, okay, what do you do? I was like, a delivery. And he went, oh, good for you. And it just sounded so...
Yeah.
And I'd not mentioned that in any interview beforehand.
That's crackers. Yeah. Do you know the other thing they offer, which is why this is a whole massive stitch up? They'll offer you something known as the right of removal contract. So if they really want you to do it, they'll give you this right of removal, which means no matter what happens, even if you get 4 yeses, you can still say, don't want that on telly, thanks.
Right, okay.
So imagine that. If I'd gone on that day, knowing that I had a right to removal contract, and I'd done my first joke and it wasn't going well,
You could just bounce.
I'd just fucking start
Yeah,
bouncing.
yeah.
And then at the end go, don't show that.
Yeah.
So it's that just completely.
Oh, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah,
Because I
completely.
would never do it. But if I could be given that, I'd probably have just for a laugh.
And
I'd go and do
it was also, I think I thought about it, and it was after that time I started making the documentary about Incognito, and I was thinking it's the exact opposite to the spirit of someone like Cogs. What I love about comedy.
Yeah.
It's a great documentary.
And
Where can
I've
people
not watched
see
it yet, but can people watch it now? It's just
on
online.
Amazon Prime. It's
Amazon
on
Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
for
What's
free.
it called?
It's called The Incognito Life and a Death on Stage.
Yeah.
Incognito.
But-
I should definitely
It's
watch that.
free on Amazon Prime.
That sounds like that was like a deliberate plug there, and to be frank, it was. But also,
You're allowed to plug stuff.
It's the complete antithesis.
You're not only allowed to plug
what
your
I believe
bad
comedy should be,
gig.
Yeah,
which is
so, yeah.
competitive. And now when I judge a gig on how it goes, I don't think of it of how the audience react. I think of how I feel on stage. And if I feel loose, I'm thinking ahead, I'm enjoying myself, I'm in the moment, that to me is a good gig.
Yeah,
if I
definitely.
feel like what I felt like in Britain's Got Fucking Talent, if I ever feel
So,
like
yeah.
that again, that's when I know it's not a good gig,
Yeah,
regardless of how the audience have found it.
Yeah.
Because and just as a nice little closing piece to this, because I did a show called Danny's Got Talent about it at the Edinburgh Festival, and it went really well. So I did manage to turn it into something positive. The next night, I went out and did the.
Hi, everybody. That's the end of the public episode.
Thanks for listening. Now, if you would like to hear more, you can go over to patreon.com/.
We Are TVI. You have to put it in the search bar.
Because we still haven't taken it off adult content.
Because it's triple X.
It's true. It's dirty. Filthy.
Nice.
Get your willies out when you listen. But yeah, go over to Patreon, sign up. What's the tiers? I can't remember what it is. 3?
We've got £3, £5, 10 and 20.
I mean, the 20 is a joke one. £10 is sort of a joke as well. £3 gets you just all the back catalogue extra episodes and
hours and hours.
There's I don't know how many 100
hours
extra sort of episodes. And the £5 tier, you get all that as well. But you also, if you wish, get to join the TVI WhatsApp group. And
you can also see the full episode or listen to the full episode with a £3 tier.
Yeah. So
£5 gets you the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. Excellent. That's it. That's all you need to know. Get over to Patreon if you want more.
Thanks for listening.
Otherwise, just thanks for listening to the public episode. And
please like and share.
Yeah, give it a share, mate. Tell your friends. Tell your families. Tell your kids. Bye-bye.
Love you.